Sabbath. I hope the distance from my mouth to this microphone is as far as this. I'm still working. I just need to hear me. It's the sound system's manager's problem. Testing. Happy Sabbath. I'm glad to be here, but I would like to remind everyone, including myself, that this is not about me. That's why I do not like introductions. Sorry, Pastor Navarro. Well, our topic this morning is very interesting. And let's start by having this for our center of attention and spiritual affection. Sing yourself to heaven. Our theology is salvation is only through God's grace, correct? And not even your songs will bring you to heaven. But let's see if we can proceed upward to heaven through music. Let's see. It is only after the conclusion that you could say that the title is theologically correct and sound or not. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you because today you have gathered your people around other areas of this place so we could come together and share your presence through the incarnate Word. And we believe that our understanding of your Word is the condescends of your presence in us. So thank you that nobody will miss your presence today. We ask this and claim this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. We have three purposes why we sing. And the first is congregational singing means when we sing together in church, like our songs service, opening song, closing song, prayer song, and all songs that we congregation join together, we call that congregational singing. First is, it is outreaching. That's the first goal, motive, intention, and purpose. What is it again? Outreaching. You reach out. According to Colossians 3:16, you sing with grace in your heart to the Lord. If you do not sing for that purpose, I tell you, you defeat the purpose and the blessing of music. If you sing for your own consumption, I would like to tell you that music will start to be a curse. Later on, we'll understand why. And so, we adore God through music. And when we do that, we are brought up to God. You know, what you sing is what you think. And what you think is what you will be. So that's why we do not sing songs like, Hey Jude. You know that the song, right? It's sensual. We do not also sing spaghetti pababa because for us, spaghetti is only pasulod. Not pababa, ay pababa. Pababa or pataas. It's pasulod, right? Do you understand what is spaghetti? Pasasana rin yung sabtan. Okay, now, so that's the first goal or activity we do with music in the church. Second, it's outgoing. Preaching, outgoing. We teach and admonish one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. When we do not sing according to that purpose, again, your music is a curse. It's not a blessing anymore. Later, we will understand why. Again, congregational singing is outgoing. It is a way of witnessing or sharing God's truth to others. So most often we should sing songs like sharing our faith. 6 days we have to work and play, the Sabbath is 40. So when we sing that song, what do we tell others? That the Sabbath is God's day. What else? What else? What other songs do we sing that we consider outgoing? His strength is perfect when your strength is gone. He'll carry you when can you sing that song? Yeah. There are trials in life. These songs are outgoing songs. You tell others about how good God is. See? When you do not sing for that purpose, again, your music will start to be a curse. Unfortunately, we also sing songs like Over the Sunset Mountain. Do you see something wrong with that song? Or not yet? Okay? Someday I'll simply go. Later, we will understand why. Third, singing is ingoing. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. When you sing, your songs will remind you who God is to you. It's a blessing. But if it does not serve according to that purpose, your music will start to be a curse. Okay? The more we sing about God, the more we become like Him. Nice, right? So music, church music, congregational singing, they have only 3 goals. And first is what? Up preaching, then outgoing, and ingoing. There are only 3 purposes. When you do not sing for this purpose, your music will start to be a curse. Music, we understand that it's a gift, or a talent, or a skill. And unfortunately, we should accept the reality and your and my observation. Have you noticed that most musicians are moody? They are harder to deal with compared to those who do not have gifts. Yes or no? Not just in music, in arts, even intellectual gifts, scientists. You know, these people who know that they have something special in them, they are moody. And they are very sensitive towards egocentrism. So that's why we must be a little careful when we will deal with these gifted individuals. Unfortunately, that's the reality. Now, let's unfocus to that. In the last days, according to the spirit of prophecy, people will be lovers of their own selves. You are now having some hymns. Why? Music, if not sung according to those 3 purposes, will start to be a curse. Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, Okay, of course you know the entire text. Having the form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. When you stand up here in front to deliver music, you have only two things in mind. To bring up the glory to God, or to bring up the glory to yourself. When you sing by the piano, you have the same two befitting purposes. And even when you sing down there, it's either you adore God or you let others adore you. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. Now, why we fail in our goal of music ministry? First, our participants, our musicians, our congregation, they have an unconverted heart. We come to church because we are afraid of hell. We come to church because we are afraid of not living in heaven. We do not even know what heaven is like. But at least we know what hell is like. Because every day we experience it, quote unquote, even in our own respective homes. So we do not like hell. Do you fully understand what heaven is? Yes or no? Me? I do not. I don't. I have a lot of questions about heaven. Do you have questions too about heaven? Yes or no? We have a lot of questions about heaven. And even our professors, they do not have sufficient understanding what heaven is like. You ask John, the Revelator, he revealed what God said. But what did he say? I cannot explain everything. He just said, Lord, just come. Just come. Because total comprehension of what heaven is like will be when we will get there. But because we do not like hell, okay, heaven is opposite of hell, so that must be a wonderful place. So we go to heaven. Unfortunately, we come to church for this very not so weighty reasons. We are just afraid of hell. But of course, we have grown. And there are a lot of us here, if not all of us, that we are here because we love God. We have been converted from darkness to light. Okay, but we could not take away the reality that there are some in the church of God that they do not have yet converted hearts. So, much more so in music. So we could not really say that the participant there up in front is really singing for God's glory or for his own self. So that's why, what do we say? Especially if we like the music being played. What do we say? They're down. Oh, you cannot judge him, right? Especially if the music is a little questionable to old folks. So the younger folks would say, no, you could not judge it. Which is true. We could not judge. It's only God who can judge. Why? Because the main cause and reason is an unconverted heart. Second, self-glorification. When I was younger, I liked to give lectures and seminars because I was drunk with the knowledge and notion that even if I was still a student, I was already considered an authority, quote unquote. in music. I had a very proud heart. Yeah, I would like to be very honest with you. Because I want you also to be honest with yourselves. I was still second year college, but I was one of the members of the music committee of Central Philippine Adventist College. And during that time, I was the most well-known pianist because I was the only one who knew to play the piano. It was not because I was good, no. It was because the 300 pianists would play the piano by piece. Nobody would play the piano without the piece. Joy, huh? So that's why when I came to Legario, I know because there was nobody who could play piano without the piece. It was only me. So I was very sikat. And I became proud. Because of, yeah. Why? Won't you be proud if you would be in my shoes? You would feel the same. Especially if people around you would say, wow, you know, I envy you. See? Flattery will lead to pride. And self-deception. And self-destruction. Until eventually, my teachers, my professors would say, you know, they were very sensitive to the talented person. Yeah, because they were afraid that I would get hurt. So they were very mellow and calm in trying to make me realize what is really my purpose in sharing music ministry. I love my father because there were times when I should be hurt, but he told me, to, pastor, if somebody will reprimand and rebuke you, you listen. That's the only key to success in any aspect. You listen to rebuke and reprove. That's the only key to success. And so I was thankful to my father who made me realize that I should always listen to advice, counsels. And finally, my teachers made me realize that the real intention of you as a minister should be to minister to others, not for self-gratification. I even asked myself why I did become a minister, because when I was young, I became a minister because my uncle who took up theology looked handsome in his barong and a taxi case. I was in grade 3. And then of course, as I grew up, when I was in high school, I wanted to become a minister because the minister or the pastor would eat the best viand in the house. And when I still grew up, I realized that pastors have educational aid and health benefits. Yes. It was only when I was already in my after extension program, there I realized the real purpose of being a minister. I am glad that I did not backslide. Well, third, income-generated music. We do this because we would like to have income. So that is also, let's go back to asking ourselves, not just in music, but in our professions. Why are you a doctor? Why are you a nurse? Why are you in medical technologies? Why are you a businessman? Is it just about survival? Is it just about income, having 2 or 3 cars in your driveway, or sending your children to Ateneo and Xavier and UP or SPAC? Amen. Let us come to ask ourselves once again and once more. Okay? Why do you sing? Why do you play music? Is it because of the sleep? And number 4, we fail because we are ignorant to the power of music. During the Sabbath school, I will explain further how powerful music is. Now, let us please remember that our Christian adage or saying when it comes to any activity, talent or gift in the church is the presence of God is the absence of self. And the presence of self is the absence of God. In whatever we do, this is the principle. You have just to choose. Why are you here? Why am I here? Is it because I am again drunk to the authority? Or you're here because you feel blessed to share because that's what God had given you? So you have to ask yourself these questions. Further, Ellen White says, according to her book, which is presently very effective and real even to us today, angels are hovering around gender 20. The young are assembled. Unfortunately, the young is well taken in that particular statement. There is a sound of vocal and instrumental music. Christians are gathered there. But what is that you hear? Song, frivolous ditty, fit for a dance hall. You see, according to Ellen White's vision, the pure angels gather their line closer to themselves, further from the gathering of young people, and they are moving away from the sin. Sadness is upon their countenances, and they are weeping. Just before the close of probation, that is the situation. Okay? There will be shouting, drums, music, dancing. The senses of rational beings will become so confused that they cannot be trusted to make right decisions. And like other groups that we know, they consider this noise as the movings of the Holy Spirit. But you know, according to Ellen White, how does the Holy Spirit work? God's word is ever characterized by calmness and dignity. So even in our music, you will only know that it is God's music when this is characterized by calmness and dignity. I'm sorry. How can I ignore the thought, according to the messenger, that most young people in this age, that was the 1800s, how much more now? Okay? Will come short of everlasting life. Not because of doctrinal differences, but because of music. Oh! She emphasized that the sound of secular instrumental music might cease, and they no more while away so much precious time in pleasing their own fancy. Let's go further. Revival in music. Well, according to the messenger again, a revival of true godliness among us is the greatest and most urgent of all our needs. This should be our first work. What is our first work? Revival. Your being here in Legario is only secondary. I'm sorry. Secondary. My pastoral work is secondary, according to the spirit of prophecy. Right or correct? Correct. That should be our first work. When we are revived, you would become the best worker of Davao Adventist Hospital. Okay? That's the point. So when you seek God first, that's what he said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. So I would like to reiterate this and re-emphasize to the leadership of this institution that when we lead our workers to this first work revival, we will have the best workers in the city. You don't have to say, you should come your own time, you should work like this and like that. You will cease to become stressed with your management when your people are already revived spiritually. Now, we are talking about music, right? So let's go to the music. The song in the Holy City, revival in music. You know, the text says, and they sang a new song, saying, you are worthy to take the scroll. That's the point. They, in the heavenly city, or New Jerusalem, they have a new song. Now, we will come to understand later what kind of song that is. Worthy is the Lamb to receive power. So if you have your Bibles with you, which I'm sure you have, Revelation chapter 5 verses 8 to 12. Do not close your Bible, because we always go back to the verses. The song for eternity. What kind of music? What kind of music are we singing in heaven? Do you know? Can we still sing the songs like there are trials in life? Can we still sing this song in heaven? Huh? How about your strength is perfect when our strength is gone? Can we still sing that song? Oh, when the rich and the poor get together with the Lord. Can we still sing that in heaven? Huh? Okay, let's see later. According to Revelation chapter 8, the song that you will sing is Worthy, Worthy is the Lamb. It's an adoration to the Lamb who was slain. Please, past tense. Was. Okay? Adoration to God who redeemed us. Past tense again. And of course, adoration to the holiness of the present participle. So all of this are talking about adoration to what God did and who God is. Because at that time, you know, that will be our future. And God says, when it happens, that's eternity. Do you believe that in eternity there is no future? Because it's eternity. It does not have an end. So it's eternity. No more, no less. It's simple as that. So God is holy all throughout eternity. Now, going back to the purpose of our study, all attention is directed to God. Never to sin. There are no trials anymore. There is no strength anymore, no weaknesses. So all of our songs, according to Revelation, is only in adoration to God. Now, singers, who are the singers in heaven? Are you sure you will sing in heaven in the choir? I want to, but I'm not sure if I could participate because I have this very, what's this? Very soft and cool voice now. Are you singers in heaven? No one could learn that song except the 144,000. Are you members of that 144,000? Who are members of 144,000? Who are not? Who are members of the great multitude? Where will you sit in heaven? You did not. Is there another group of people in heaven? Huh? 144,000 great multitude. What else? Okay. Second day Adventists. Third group of Davao Adventist Hospital. Okay. Now, theoretically, 144,000 is not a number. It's an identity. Okay? Well, we could spend some time on that too. Next times. The meaning is they are overcomers of sin and its world. Now, meaning they are godly people. So who are the sinners? They are overcomers. And so what is the necessity? What is the requirement to be in the choir? Good voice? Huh? Good voice? No, not good voice. It's only good vatasan. Huh? It's still letter V. Not voice, but vatasan. Okay? That will fit us to sing for eternity. You know, here, unfortunately, here in our world, we require singers to be good singers, which of course should be. Anyway, if you could not sing up in the choir, you could sing in the church mass choir, right? Congregational singing. So don't feel bad. But in heaven, it's about your character. Now, singers, what is more about them? They are dressed in white robes. Okay? They are dressed in white robes. What's the meaning of that? They are properly dressed. So meaning, when you would come up here in up or down there, we should be modestly dressed. So, what is the definition of modest? You should talk that in your church before. Pastor Navarro is authority on that. Okay? I just focus on music. Basta, it's modest and proper attire. Now, what else is about them? Third, they bow down when they sing. What is the meaning of that? They sing out of gratitude to what God did and who God is, meaning they have the spirit of humility. Do we exercise that when we sing up here in front? Or we sing up here because we want others to know that we are gifted? We will always go back to that. Now, these are some of our observations on musical presentations. First, we feel elated when our talents are acknowledged. Yes or no? Hinay ma? Yes. What if there's nobody who will shake your hand after you will sing? What will you feel? Bad. Okay. So you have insecurities. You still do not know that you know how to sing. See? That's the problem. You want others to know that you're a good singer, but when others will not give that acknowledgement, you will ask yourself, am I really a good singer? Oh, come on. So, which is which? You still do not know. Who are you? And you are now 40 years old. You go back to Mount Erisaba for self-awareness. Si Ma'am Chui, self-awareness. You know what I'm trying to say? Huh? What I'm trying to say is that we should come up here, not because we still do not know who we are. We are up here because we are blessed that God has given us this, so we could share this with others and tell others about Him. Simple as that. Second, we are too excited to tell about our stories and elaborate more on that. Correct? When I was in Texas during this presentation, it was a music gathering. They were only given a song to perform. But when all of them were already there, the director would point to somebody and somebody would say, "Good evening, everyone. We are like this and like that. You know, we started our group 5 years ago, and you know, I do not know how to sing. We do not know how to sing, but we practiced, and you know, there were a lot of stories." So it was now a story of who they were, and who they are, not to bless the congregation with the music that God gave them. Okay? Yeah. So that's why again I hate introductions. Number 3, we are busy preparing for our part while the program is going on. Correct? And sometimes our worship, special song. Okay? When the special song participants will come in, it's just around the holy, 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 and they would, you know, your voice please. Prepare. It's your part. Okay? Then after they would see it, they would go down there. Musta, how was it? How was it? Is it good? Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Then after that, they would ask Pastor Legario, where can we pass? Why? Because we will go to Katalunan, to Bangkal, to Camus. No? Yeah. So they just come here to deliver their part and not to be blessed by the Sabbath program. I am sorry, but I told Pastor Gulfan that because of this, we have a weak church liturgy. And he said, I don't see any weakness. No, there is. And later he said, I think you have observed very well because, of course, that's your field. You come to us so you could explain further. Until now, I wasn't able to go. 4, we always believe that our presentation is better than others. Well, not all, but most during the presentations, we want to believe that because we want to boost our self-esteem a little. Huh? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the human tendency. So again, just an observation. Next, well, we are not particular of dressing up modestly because we want to appear sexy. Sexy. We want others to know, uy, baba ka. That's the point. Why are we dressed up like that? Because we want others to tell us or remind us that we are baba. So when you think about that, is that about God or is that about you? So, of course, it does not also mean that you will just come in rags. No. If you do that, you do not glorify God. You also glorify yourself. Why? What is your philosophy of coming to church in humble dress? Ako, humble naman ko. Simple naman. What are you trying to say? That you are the humblest man on earth? Isn't that pride? See, so either way, when you dress too good, it's pride. When you dress too simple, it's pride. The road to heaven is narrow. Areas of revival in music. Okay, let all our songs express worship to God and direct the audience to God alone. I do not know why AJ and Chucky sang that song. Because in MBC, I did not hear them sing. Only in my bathroom. They would frequent my house and there they would vocalize. But maybe you have been trained very well by the bathroom, right? You suddenly, I was happy that you were able to deliver that very well. What was your song again? Huh? Oh, I want to know you more. It's a very good song, right? And when you sing that, it should be that you want the audience to have the same sentiment. Oh, I want to know you more deep within my soul. I want to know you. You are not just telling the people that you personally would like to know more about God. Because if that is your intention, then the program or the music is all about you. Okay? I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to each of us. You should deliver the song that the audience or the congregation will feel the same sentiment. So how do you deliver that? After this, maybe we can have some workshop and exercises. Second, work on your character development with your music development. So both should grow together. You are very good in music, but you are not good in your character. You are very good in your voice, but you are bad in your vatasan. Yeah, so they should go hand in hand. Unfortunately, the more that a singer becomes better, the more that he or she becomes moody. No. It should be that the more you become better, the more you will become better good. Okay? That is what we call better component. You know, you sing so, right? Okay, third, dress modestly and properly. Because again, it's not about how sexy you are or how beautiful you are. It's about how proper you are. So, fourth, humility is the attitude of an Adventist musician. Humility. Primitive godliness. Before the final visitation of God's judgments upon the earth, there will be a revival of primitive godliness. Meaning, we should go back, quote unquote, to the old time religion. I am a little lax or tolerant about the music of young people, but later on we will discuss how we could do this properly. The acceptance of the church, our patience with this music, at the same time, not putting the church at risk. Okay? But please take note that our goal is to go back to the old time religion because that's what the Divine was saying. And the Holy Spirit works on our music revival. He affects us again. How does the Spirit works? In noise or drums? The work of the Holy Spirit is in calmness and dignity. Okay? Now that this is the requirement, total surrender. Meaning, we should accept, okay, Lord, I'm sorry that I do not have a healthy musical choice. Please teach me and help me. Surrender. If you will not surrender, then you will not win the war. Okay? A mind with the impurities of worldliness, secularism, and thoughtless music will resist the coming of the Spirit into the soul. That's the line from the Spirit of prophecy. And this is the unfortunate truth. Not all will receive the latter rain. Because I am afraid that today, even here inside the church, there might be some who are resistant to this. What is our responsibility as a congregation towards music participants? Okay, so I was trying to share with you the behavior of the participants. Now, how about the congregation? Number one, please understand that music participants are growing Christians like you. So do not be highly critical. Kamu daw di pagkatamon, kabalukod mo. Okay? So, let's be patient. Huh? If we see some questionable actuations or hand movements or gestures, be patient. Now, he is also a growing Christian. Number two, music is a difficult art. Forgive their shortcomings. Huh? Okay? Thank you. Again, if they deliver voice, what will you deliver? Batasan. Huh? Sige. Number three, see Jesus through their songs. Don't focus on the participant himself. Yes, get the message. When I was in college, again I was drunk with the authority. Yet I was happy when students would tell me, you know, I will sing this Sabbath. Will you attend? I said yes. No, do not attend. When I see you, I get stressed out. I was happy. I felt big. Yes. Very, very bad. Very bad. So, and I was used to see mistakes. When the singer starts to sing, I would know where will he fall on a particular song that I know too. Of course, I could not judge the songs that I do not know. But I know, mabigil niya siya dia apart. Yeah, most of them I was correct. Yeah. If some of you remember Ma'am Bingkang, you're not too old, right? Or remembering Ma'am Bingkang, Marie Bingkang in MBC. Yeah. I was her little disciple in being very critical. She was in English, I was in music. Ma'am Marie Bingkang. So, little mistakes I would know. And you know what would be my facial reaction? Yeah. Or, maldito kayo. Until I realized, when I was already fourth year or graduating in theology, I was an abomination to those who are still growing in music. Yeah. So anyway, that was my past. I don't want to dwell on that anymore. I am a changed man. Okay, number four. Your role in a music rendition is to what? Listen, appreciate, and be blessed. You are not a contest judge. If you're a contest judge, you go out. You go out. And maybe you bring with you next time some prize. If that is your role. So your role is to listen and be blessed by the music. Well, if you are not blessed by the participant, you should be blessed by the music or the message. Okay? We are through with that. Next, if there's really a problem with the participant, What music should we sing? How did those hymns before? First, adoration. We adore God, we adore His truth, we adore what He did, He adored everything about God because He alone should be glorified. If that is not your purpose, please decline the offer, or else it will become a curse. Why? What happens? If that is for self-glorification, you have the hint. When you become better, you become what? Worse in character. Why? Because you would be satisfied by pride and self-gratification. And according to Proverbs, what does it say? Pride goeth before destruction. I thank God for saving me. Yeah. For guys, until now, you will never like me because of the critical thing. Okay? Mura na bagwapo. Second, sanctification. Our music should be a skill, a talent, a gift, which would lead to experience sanctification. What is that? Food and rich spiritual blessings come as an automatic effect of directing our praises unto the Lord. What are we thinking when we adore God? It's God, right? So, we become like who? When we sing about God and for God, we become like Him. And in that, we experience sanctification. So, the effect is, when you glorify God, you or us or we are sanctified. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as this. Now, there was a story of a certain an old man who knew the Lord is my shepherd very well because he was also a shepherd. One particular day, a famous orator came who was, of course, very good in orating. And gathering a small flock of people around the village, all people were there to listen to him having his oration. And people clapped their hands to appreciate the talent of the famous orator. The chieftain came into the picture and said, "Sir, for the last time, can you please orate to us, 'The Lord is my shepherd,' Psalm 23. And of course, he said, "Thank you, I will be glad for this privilege." And so he started to speak about the Lord is my shepherd, with the movement of his eyes further away, really bringing the people to where he would like them to be in his imagination. And after that, people stood up and clapping. It was perfect. Then the chieftain said, "Okay, thank you. But I would like to request this old man to say the same chapter." And the old man, of course, with bended shoulders and back, went to the front and started to say, "The Lord is my shepherd." When he finished, everyone was in tears. The orator brought the people to his imagination, but the old man brought them to the shepherd. We are sanctified when we glorify the Lord. Next, proclamation. Proclamation. It is our responsibility to use music to proclaim the word of God. Pastors speak the singers sing the gospel. That is your gift. That is your part, and that is your role. You are not here to perform, but you are here to preach through music. If you do not do that, you lose the purpose of what music is to us. So, it is also our responsibility when we use that even here. While God is glorified and we are sanctified, others are justified due to our songs. How many have accepted Jesus because of your song? That's a very good question. And in proclaiming, the lyrics should be in harmony with our fundamental beliefs. Second, the songs should be in harmony with the program or church service. Because the speaker is talking about music, the singer sang about, I want to know you more. Okay? Third, the song should jive with the setting of the program. Opening song, it should be opening tune. Closing, it should be closing. Sometimes we contradict opening song for closing exercises. And the closing, it's adoration. No? Interchange. And the music should jive with the lyrics. In the Holy City, this will be our song. All music for eternity will express about God, His love, and His justice. And nothing about ourselves will be sung by anybody in that place. Now, this is a call for reformation in music. You sing because you worship God. It is just a part of your expression of worship. His purpose, the purpose is His glorification. You sing because you lead others to worship God. And it should be their justification. They are justified because of your music. And of course, the third, you sing because you worship God, you are brought closer to Him, your sanctification. So maybe today we can start to sing now, like we are already in the Holy City. Okay? Now, a certain group of monks, of course they were living in the mountain. And every day they would just chant, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Amen. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He maketh me to still waters. Amen." Do you find it nice? Of course, it's monotonous. So maybe you could say like, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Like that, right? Well, chanting. So sometimes a lot of pastors are doing like that when they preach. Dear congregation, the Lord is good. Yes or no? So we do not like monotonous preaching or singing. The monks did that. All throughout their years, one day, a certain Italian singer came up to visit them for 1 month. And because he was there, the monk said, "We are blessed because you're here. So every worship time, you are our singer." So, of course, he did his part very well. And all the monks were blessed because of his music ministry. After 2 weeks, there was a certain visitor. A certain visitor who who knocked on the door and said, "Sir, I just come to check whether you are still here. Your group is still here." "Why? Of course we're here. Because, I have not heard you doing worship services anymore." "What? You did not hear us sing?" "No. Don't you know that for 2 weeks, the famous Italian singer is here to sing for us?" Then he said, I'm sorry, but I never heard the music. Then of course he looked back and, no, I want to. Then he looked back again. There was nobody. There was nobody. Music should come from our heart. When it comes out from our mouth, it should really come from the heart. Music is not just about the exercise of the diaphragm, which will again go out from the mouth. It is an exercise of the heart that will come out through your face and through your behavior. It's not about the voice, but it's all about batasan. If you have the voice and if you have the batasan, you have been called by God to this wonderful opportunity of leading others in His truth through music. So God bless you, my dear singers, not just by the voice, but by God's character. This is my prayer.